So I never thought that my first Methough episode, which is basically a series of me just sitting down talking about whatever. I don't have a camera yet, so I can't say just cut on the camera and me talk about whatever. Um, I never thought it would be about what the title of this video is. I thought it was gonna be about Endgame, even Schoolboy Q's album, Igor by Tyler, since that just came out. But no, it's about this fucking Logic album that, frankly, is, in the famous words of Anthony Fantano, not good. This shit really pissed me off. And let me start off by saying this. I understand that Logic has a very hardcore and devoted fan base. I get that. There's a lot of stands out there. But this, to me, is one of those albums where I don't see how even they can defend it, which they do, because this album and just how he's such a hypocrite on this album and how much this album pissed me off. I went to go look up the lyrics on Genius just to do a real deep dive into what the fuck was he trying to accomplish with this album. And I look in the comment section and people are defending this shit, and it blows my fucking mind that people, I don't know if it's them being naive, them being gullible. I don't know what it is, but for them to simply think that what he's saying is quote unquote real shit and he's speaking truth and they feel bad about him, I genuinely don't get it. But before we really get into this shit, there will be timestamps in the description box below and in the top comment, the pinned comment, because I'm going to be going over every track. And I can tell you now, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, oh boy, am I really going to be getting into that one, because it really pretty much sums up the whole point of this album and my theory on why he made this album, and especially that song. So we're going to be talking about that for a good minute. So we're going to be talking about this whole album for a good minute. So that's why the timestamps are there, so you can skip to wherever you want to skip to, then bounce. Like, I really don't care, because I know a lot of people don't like long form content, but I like to make long form content. So I'm not gonna stop it just because that's what the masses don't like. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this fucking album. So we start off with Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, which this song, when I first heard it, because I'm not a singles person, I've never have been, never really will be, but when I first heard this, I thought it was okay. I was like, this song is not bad, but it's cool. I really love the beat, which it's very whimsical in a sense. The beat, that's the best way I can put it. There's a lot of strings. It sounds like there's like a piano. I'm pretty sure the strings is like a harp or something. Don't quote me. I don't know all my instruments. This is just me spitballing and just guessing, but I'm pretty sure that's like a harp or something like that. I don't think it's an acoustic guitar, but it sounds like a harp or some sort. It's just some string instrument that sounds really fucking good. And yeah, like I said, I love that part of it. I guess there's like a piano in there or something. Just bottom line, I really love the beat for this. And even the chorus, I like a lot. I like the chorus. But when my problem comes in, and now we're about to get into the negative, is everything else dealing with this song. Now, the problem with this song, and I got Genius up right now, so if I pause, it's because I'm probably reading the lyrics. The problem with this song, from what I've been able to basically come to the conclusion with, after listening to this album so many times, because see, I'm not the type of person who listens to an album like 2 or 3 times and then I'm done. No, I listen to my albums, I shit you not, 9, 10, 11, 12 times, because I want to make sure that whatever conclusion I come to is what it fucking is. Like, I know that's exactly how I feel because I've listened to it that many times, if that makes sense. And I've listened to this album multiple times, and what I've been able to come up with is essentially the whole point of this song, which I mean, it is pretty straightforward, but I'm just saying is that he's upset that people are essentially not on his side, and that people are not necessarily liking his music. And, if you listen to what he's saying, he's talking about how people call him a hype beast, and, people say that his music's trash and they don't care. that his music comes from the heart. They just only care about whether about it's hot or not. You know, they call him a fag, which this is what he says in the song, so don't fucking come after me for that with that political correctness bullshit. And you know what I find funny about this track is that hello Logic, people have been saying these things about you since forever. And first of all, welcome to the internet, my friend. I'm glad you're finally realizing how the internet is. People are always going to talk about you. At the time of recording this, I haven't even uploaded a single fucking video on my channel. But I bet you when I finally start uploading on my channel, there's going to be that one person who's going to come by and say a whole bunch of bullshit just because they can. Because that's the fucking internet. You just have those people who are automatically going to do that because they can. So for me, why all of a sudden is this such a big deal for you? Especially when people have been saying this about you for an extremely long time now. Even back then, when I first found you back during like Young Sinatra 3, right before you came out with Under Pressure and all of that shit, I remember people saying the same shit. That you were whack, that you were corny, that you was this, that you was that. So why now all of a sudden is it such a big deal? When people literally been saying that about you your whole career. And the number one thing that you've always done that I've liked is that you just drop music to shut them up. People were saying that before you dropped Under Pressure, and you dropped Under Pressure, which is still my favorite album by you till this day, because that album has no skippable tracks. That shit still holds up to this fucking day. And now all of a sudden you're taking offense to everything everybody says instead of just dropping music. And look, well, I mean, in this context, he did, but not in the proper way. But I'm gonna get to why he did it in a second. Oh man, I'm telling y'all don't know how much I done figured this shit out, man. I'm like that fucking meme of Charlie Day when he got all the paper fucking up on the board and the red strings and shit, and he's looking all disheveled and like, or disheveled. Is it disheveled or disheveled? No, it is disheveled. Whatever. Either way, you get my point. He's looking all fucked up and he's like, you know, looking crazy, like I figured it out and all that shit. But I get it. You can chalk it up as, oh, you know, maybe he's tired of it. Maybe he's tired of people talking shit about him. And that's why he felt like he needed to make this track and this album to address them. And to that, I say no. No, that's not what it is. Do you want to know what was the whole point of this fucking album? And this fucking track specifically? This is what I've come to the conclusion with. This is what I've put together. This is my theory, hypothesis, yada, yada, yada. I think the reason why Hopsin made this track specifically, and he's addressing a lot of the things and then proceeds to go on and do a lot of things that he does in this album, is because basically, well, number one, I think after everybody, he had this, for some reason, he was living in this false reality where he thought that everybody loved him because he had that suicide awareness track and everybody loved it. It was doing real well. Everybody was talking about, he was getting all this exposure. And I think because when he made that album and the amount of praise that it got from people, not everybody, because I can tell you now, a lot of people didn't like that album, including me. But for most people, the people that really mattered to him, I guess, who enjoyed that album and gave it all the praise that I guess he wanted for it, I think essentially he had thought that everybody had liked him for some reason. And then when reality set back in and people were still calling him fucking trash after that and were just like, no, nigga, I don't give a fuck if you made that album or not. I don't give a fuck what you're trying to do. That album still fucking sucks regardless. This is why he made it. And the reason why I'm saying that is because at the very end of this song, he says, I'm going to try to do my best not to sing it because from what I understand, companies have gone absolutely rampant with their copyright and content ID shit. And even if you somewhat sing in the way, sing a song the way that it's supposed to be sung, they'll try to get you. But at the end of the song, he repeats, put your ego on the shelf and love yourself. And then he repeats that a couple more times. And what I find funny, and this is why I say that this is one of the most hypocritical albums I've ever fucking heard in my life, and especially in his own song, which is this one. Because my thing is that you wouldn't be going to these lengths to attack people, to make an entire album, unless it's something else, which I'm about to get into, unless your ego was hurt. And that's why I say, I think that it's because he dropped that Everybody album, and he thought for some reason that everybody, pun intended, liked him, and was like, oh man, Logic is the best, because that's probably all he was hearing from those people who were bigging up that album, and that's all he was seeing, maybe wanted to see. I don't know. I'm not Logic. So then when reality set in and people were fucking still roasting his ass and attacking him, that's when he comes with this, because now his ego's hurt. His ego got overly inflated after everybody. He thought he was on top of the world. He thought he was the shit, that nobody would badmouth him. And because people still are, and he's now seeing it, and he was thinking, well, I thought nobody would badmouth me. Now he wants to make this fucking album, and this song specifically, where he's addressing everything and trying to play the victim. No, nigga, stop. Because you are guilty yourself. You, not too long ago, sir, on Young Sinatra 4, was just shitting on your own fans. The ones who were just saying, yo, man, I really like when, Logic rap over boom bap shit. And what was you telling them? You were telling them to go fuck off. You were telling them that if they like your old shit, go listen to your old shit. This is my new shit. This is what I want to make. So don't try to play the victim when you have been doing essentially what you are supposedly going at the haters about to your own fans, and that's being toxic. That's telling them they need to go fuck off. They need to go, listen to your old shit. If they don't like your new shit, they need to get over it. Blah, 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 blah. You see what I'm saying here? Essentially, he's trying to paint himself to be the victim, even though the shit that he's supposed to be going at people for, he's done himself. But that's just a little bit of it. That's just a little bit of it, my nigga. That's just a teeny tiny bit of it. The real reason why he did this is because it's well known at this point that Logic wears his influences on his sleeve. Whether it be Cole, whether it be your boy Kendrick, the list goes on and on. And we all know that one of his biggest influences is Eminem. That's quite obvious. If you don't think it is, you are fucking delusional. Or maybe you're just fucking deaf. I have no idea. And if that's the case, how the fuck are you listening to his music to even know that he's not? But anyway, you get my point. One of his biggest influences is Eminem. And remember, around this time last year, Eminem dropped a little album called Kamikaze, where he was going at everybody who talks shit about him. From Joe Budden, Lord Jamar, Academics, he shit on Yachty, the whole nine, just going at everybody. And remember when that album dropped, everybody was like, oh my God, Eminem is going crazy. He is going fucking crazy. He's attacking everybody. Rah, rah, rah. Right? Everybody was fucking going crazy. And probably roughly about a year later, maybe, Logic is doing the same thing. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think this was planned, hence why he ended up getting a track with Eminem. Yeah, that's what it is. And what this basically, like the verse that I like to use, because I'm telling you, when I first listened to this album, this verse from this cipher was the first thing that popped up in my mind. And it perfectly embodies what's going on with this album and this whole situation with Logic and this song, the whole nines. And it comes from a Funk Volume cipher. I'm pretty sure a lot of you don't even know who Funk Volume is. That was the group that consisted of Hobson, Jaron, Benton, Dizzy Wright, and Swizz. And they did a cipher. I'll put it down the link. I'll put the link in the description box below. And essentially, there's a part in there where Dizzy Wright is rapping. And in his verse, he says, I'm going to try to make sure I get it right because I don't want to butcher it. But, and I'm still going to kind of paraphrase it. But in the verse, he says, he seen Hop dissing, so he figured he could get it. Then he says some other shit. And then he says, you tried to make yourself the target, but you only became a victim, nigga. Now, the reason why this hits home and perfectly embodies this album is because Logic saw what Eminem did last year. So you take out Hobson and you put Eminem. Logic seen Eminem dissing. So he thought, oh, I could do that too. And he did it. But instead of being a target and becoming a victim, he painted himself as the fucking victim. Now he done made himself a target. That, you cannot fucking tell me that does not hit this shit home. that's not hitting this shit right on the fucking head. That's exactly what he's doing. He's seen Eminem diss it, so he figured he could do it. He painted himself to be the victim. Now he's just a fucking target. I'm telling you, that shit fits perfectly with this. And when I mean literally, after I heard this album for the first time, that's exactly what I thought of. And I haven't heard that freestyle in fucking years. But as soon as I fucking heard this shit, that was the first thing that popped up in my mind. I said, damn, that shit just popped up out of nowhere. That gotta be it. Cause why else would he do it? Once again, I'm gonna keep on repeating this to hit this shit home on how hypocritical this song is and how fucking stupid this album is. People have been saying these things about you your entire career, and now all of a sudden, you want to make a big deal about it? No, nigga, no. You saw what Eminem did, your fucking idol, and now you think you can do it, but you can't. I'm sorry, and you did it, and you failed spectacularly. No. Eminem is a one-of-a-kind person. There's certain things that he can do that people can't do. Hence why, when he first came out, he could go at Britney Spears, NSYNC, Justin Timberlake. Because he's that guy. He's the only one who can do that shit and get away with it. Not everybody can do it, and you sure as fuck cannot do it. And that pretty much sums up this whole album for me. But that just... we just got done with the first track. It sums up the whole album for me, but we only done with the first track, and we still got quite a bit to go. So yeah, don't leave just yet, or you can. It's whatever. It is what it is. So then let's go ahead and move on to the second track, because Confessions of a Dangerous Mind I could talk about for another 15 minutes, but I'm not gonna do it like that. So then we get into Homicide. This is the actual track with Eminem, and this track, when I first heard it, I liked it. And let me go ahead and say this too. I would say my overall thoughts on this album, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of spoil it so I won't have to keep on repeating myself, is that the beats are great, but the lyrical content is fucking stupid. It's just fucking trash. Like, he's not talking about anything of any significance. He is just rapping just to be rapping, or he's trying to act like other people because that seems like the cool thing to do, trying to copy Eminem. So... you're gonna mainly hear me say that the beat was good, but the lyrics are trash. So I'm just going ahead and getting that out the way right now. But with this song, this is actually the perfect example of that with this song. The beat is fucking phenomenal. I think the beat was absolutely great. Sounds like there's like a some type, I don't know. I'm not good with instruments. That's why I don't really like trying to describe beats like that. But there is something in here. It does sound like some, I don't know. I want to say like some type of piano. I don't want to say like an organ or anything like that, but it sounds like something of that effect in the background, like the keys that are being played, and it's just like real menacing and real evil and dark, and I like it. I like it a lot. But Logic's verse is just fucking stupid because he's not saying anything. And what it reminds me of is this Crank Lucas video that he did. I'll leave that down in the description box below as well so you can see it. Where basically he's rapping fast, but he's not saying shit. And it's actually really fucking funny. At the same time, it's kind of hard because he's not literally saying shit, he's literally not saying shit. He's just like putting words together really fast. But it's impressive how he's doing it, and it's really good. Once again, I'll leave it down there for you to see. And that's essentially what Logic is doing here. I mean, you could kind of say he's talking about something because like he's going at his haters once again, and he's like saying fuck them and fuck rap and that and all that bullshit. But really, at the end of the day, he's not saying shit. He really isn't. And then when you get into Eminem's verse, he's not really saying anything either, which is kind of sad. And then for some reason, he constantly keeps on talking about shit going over people's head. Look, Eminem, I understand you're still fucking salty about people roasting you for Revival. And look, I'm a huge Eminem fan, but I'm not a stan. Let me make that 100% clear. I'm a still Star saying from Everyday Struggle when he was on there. He used to say, I'm not a fan of anyone. That's the number one thing he always used to say. I take that and I say I'm not a stan of anyone. I am fans of a lot of people, but I'm not a stan of anyone. And even though Eminem is my favorite rapper of all fucking time, I am not a stan of him. I will be quick to tell you that Revival was trash. I will be quick to tell you that Recovery was trash. I don't believe in hyping up shit that's fucking trash just because they're my favorite artists. And Eminem, ever since Revival, has been on this kick of where like he's talking about that shit goes over people's head. Well, Mr. Eminem, Mr. Slim Shady, Marshall Mathers, whatever fucking name you want to go by, I hate to tell you, but there's nothing They're so prolific. Prolific, yeah. There's nothing, I don't know why I thought there was a F in that word. But there's nothing so prolific and fucking over the head that could go over my head, essentially, about your heavy duty like diarrhea. We're in a pickle that's hard to deal. And that's just two of the ones that I will forever remember that came out of that album because they were so fucking terrible. So I don't understand why you keep on referring to shit going over people's head when you clearly made a lot of bars that didn't go over people's heads. As a matter of fact, it smacked me in my fucking face and it said, yeah, take that shit, bitch. So you can quit with this shit going over people's head, all right? So yeah. This song, outside the beat, I didn't too much care for. When you actually listen to the lyrics, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. And then, oh boy, do we get to one of the things that I hate the most when it comes to motherfucking Logic. And that is how this nigga constantly puts fucking skits in his goddamn albums. I mean, well, just in general, he puts skits in his albums. But in the songs, Logic, buddy, pal, friend, let me tell you something. Skits are supposed to be something that you're only supposed to use every once in a while. And then on top of that, if you're going to use them, they have to be funny or somehow be intriguing to where it ties into the narrative or ties into the album. And the biggest thing, they're supposed to be fucking separate from the actual track. Because when you fucking incorporate them into the track, it makes the track less replayable. And that's exactly what he's done. He did that shit with Everybody, which made that album even worse for me. I'm telling you, I fucking hated that album even more because of that. Almost every goddamn track had a skit attached to it. And it wasn't even like 30 seconds, 15 seconds. No, these motherfuckers was pushing like a minute and a half. Almost 2 goddamn minutes. No! And he does the same thing here. And one of the times that I read the Genius comments, there was one person who actually said it. They said, this shit got old after a few listens. The shit to me got old after the first listen because I didn't find it funny to begin with. But even if somebody did find it funny, that is the perfect way to say, or that is basically the perfect, I'm trying to figure out the best way to phrase it. Bottom line, what that comment said was actually how I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel now, essentially, is that after the first couple listens, hearing this Chris, whatever the fuck his name is, trying to do Eminem, it gets old. Once again, it was already old for me the first time, but I'm pretty sure for a lot of people, it's old now. Stop fucking putting these goddamn unfunny skits in the fucking songs, and you can't skip them. I don't like skits. I can tell you that now. Personally, I don't like skits. There's only a few albums that I've ever listened to the skits in. The biggest one I can really think of is like Jaron Benton's mixtapes, like Free Basin with Kevin Bacon and Hustle, what is the name of it? Huff and Glue with Hasselhoff. Like, the skits on there are fucking funny, especially like the No Homo skits. Them shits are fucking funny. I can still listen to those to this day and fucking laugh. But not too many people can do skits, and you are not one of them. So stop fucking putting them a part of the songs. If you are gonna do skits, fucking separate them. I'm not even gonna say please. Just fucking separate them. So then we get into Wannabe, where, like, once again, this is him trying to appeal to the, like, I guess the rap scene nowadays, where he's talking about fame and Instagram and popping pills and all of this shit. And once again, I don't even really like the beat for this song, to be real with you. This is probably one of the beats that I don't fucking care for, and I don't care for the lyrics. So we're just gonna skip past this. Okay, so then we get to Clickbait, which this is the song where I do like the beat on this song a lot as well. The bass is fucking knocking, dude. And I ain't gonna even lie, I will give Logic credit when he starts to sing, even though it's like very cringy what he's saying. I like the way he was singing over it. He was flowing a little bit with it. I don't remember like the proper word for like when people are like singing perfectly over a beat. I don't know all the musical terms, but you get my point. Like the way he was singing, it was really fucking good. I really liked it. But like I said, the shit that he was saying was very fucking cringy. But the thing about this song that that once again that I find to just be really fucking stupid, and him just putting his fucking foot in his mouth in the same goddamn song is, okay, so he talks about how he talks about how Charlemagne supposedly called him homophobic. Or maybe he's just talking about Charlemagne calling people homophobic and he's not doing his research. I don't know. But he's going to Charlemagne, which is funny because didn't Eminem go with Charlemagne in his album? But, you know, hey. So, you know, he talks about, you know, Charlemagne or whatever. And he's like, you know, you need to do your research before you call somebody homophobic. And, you know, he's talking about how he lives out controversy, blah, blah, blah. And then he talks about how he'll suck a dick to prove that he ain't. And then he's like, oh, niggas gonna say that I'm gay. And then he literally said, I'm looking at the Genius lyrics right now. He says, quote that line, but leave out all the mental health. Nigga, what mental health? Like, and look, people. I'm pretty fucking sure. Look, and I'm not gay, so I don't know. I'm not trying to speak for gay people, okay? But I'm pretty sure that even a gay person will look at this and say, my nigga, what the fuck are you talking about? You do not have to suck a dick to prove that you're not homophobic. That's some weird shit. That's like a white girl or a white person saying, hey man, I'm not fucking racist, man. I'll fuck a black bitch. I'll fuck a black dude. Like, what, like, what? And what really just pisses me off is how he throws in, and what does he say? Hold on, let me bring this shit back up so I can quote him right, as he says. Quote that line, but leave out all the mental health. That last part, but leave out all the mental health. Wow. And not only wow, what? Once again, what does mental health have to do with you sucking a dick to prove that you're not gay? I mean, I guess you can say that you gotta be mentally fucked up to think that's the perfect way to prove that you're not homophobic. It's like, man, I'll suck a nigga dick to prove that I'm not gay. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Maybe you are right. Maybe there is some mental health issues with you to think that that's the perfect way to solve that, you know, or to show that you're not fucking gay. Like, come on, my nigga. Like, get the fuck out of here, Logic. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Seriously. And it pisses me off because I don't really know what the fuck you're doing. So then we get to the next track, which is Mama / Show Love. And this is the one with Corday, ain't it? Yeah, this song, I once again, the beat was really good. I like the beat a lot. Corday saved the song, and that's all I can say about it. That's literally all I can say about it. Then we get to Out of Sight, which this this song, which when I first was paying attention, God damn it, when I was first... So then we get to Out of Sight, which when I first heard it, I really didn't recognize it up until I read a couple of comments where people were talking about how he bit Drake's shit. And a lot of people like, oh, this is Drake's song, or this sounds like Drake's song. And the more and more I listen to it, I don't know what Drake's song they're necessarily talking about, but this does sound like a Drake song. And the way he's rapping does sound like a Drake song. It really does. I like the beat a lot. And it does sound like something that Drake will be on. But once again, he's not saying anything that even makes this album, or God, why do I keep on saying album? This song worth listening to on repeat like I did. Like, to me, what he should do, to be real with you, is just drop an instrumental version of this album, and that's pretty much it. Like, to me, that would be the best thing he could do to salvage this fucking clusterfuck of an album. Then we get to Pardon My Ego, which I really enjoy this track once again for the beat, because it reminds me of something that would have been on Tits, which that's the acronym for The Incredible True Story, which I don't feel like saying that, so I'm just going to call it Tits. But yeah, this definitely sounds like it would have been on Tits, because you have the flute in the background, which he had, like Whoa. That was on Tits, like Whoa, which was my favorite song because of the flute that was in the background. Sound like them Naruto flutes, like all of a sudden, fucking Naruto and Sasuke and a whole bunch of niggas about to fight and shit and be running with their arms behind their back and all that bullshit. And that's exactly what this sounds like. It sounds like this would have fit perfectly on The Incredible True Story, aka Tits. But hopefully, if it was on there, it would have been better lyrics than what the fuck is on this song. Once again, I can't even somewhat recall him saying, oh, here we go. I'm looking at the lyrics now. I do remember this one. This is where he starts talking about his dick a lot. It's like from this song forward, he constantly refers to his fucking dick. And I think in one of these songs, I forget which one it is, where he talks about his biracial penis, which is... That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Oh, okay. I was about to... Okay, never mind. Okay, so yeah, I do remember this one. This song. This is the fucking song with G-Eazy. This song with fucking G-Eazy. Oh my God. Look, let me tell you something, man. I'm not one of those people who like to bring race into everything. I swear to you, I'm not. If you was to see my group of friends, I have one of the most diverse group of fans. I have one of the most diverse group of friends possible. But this fucking song with G-Eazy and G-Eazy in general is easily one of the whitest fucking rap songs I've ever heard. Now, it's not Macklemore level of white, but it's up there. And G-Eazy is like, I don't give a fuck how much he fucking puts gel in his hair to make it go slick back. Nigga, you are one of the whitest rappers I've ever fucking heard in my life. You're not Macklemore level, but goddamn, you're pretty goddamn close. And this song always makes me laugh because in this song, he has the nerve to say, ladies and gentlemen, the moment y'all been waiting for. Nigga, there has never been a day in my life where I've ever fucking said, man, you know what I'm really looking forward to? Or that I really want? The day that fucking Logic and G-Eazy collab. I've never fucking said that in my life. So who the fuck told you that that was a day that people been waiting for? And I'm going to quote Anthony Fantano, and I'll leave his review down in the description box below as well, where he said this is the equivalent of Wonder Bread, a slice of Wonder Bread, and another slice of Wonder Bread placed on top of it and taking a bite out of it. But I go even deeper than that. It's like those two pieces of Wonder Bread with mayonnaise in the middle, with whipped cream in that bitch. I'm talking about white on white on white on white. That's exactly what this is. That is what the equivalent of this fucking song is. Not just two pieces of Wonder Bread. You gotta include the mayonnaise and the whipped cream on top. This fucking song sucks. This fucking song sucks. But I like the beat in this song too. Once again, just gonna keep on saying that. Just to keep on reiterating, because I gotta find something positive in these fucking songs. Even though I already said it at the beginning, I'm just gonna keep on saying it just to reiterate it on how good of an instrumental album this could have been. But no, he decided to put these garbage ass lyrics on top. So then we get into Icy. And Icy is one of those songs where I like it because of how bad it is. Now, once again, the lyrics I don't fucking care for. I'm gonna keep on reiterating that as well, especially Gucci Mane. Like, I've never been a good I don't know where fuck good came out. I've never been a big Gucci Mane fan, but I mean, goddamn, even for him, this was just like, what are you doing? Like, his rhyme scheme basically was in the along the lines of like, a nigga hit me in my bladder with a ladder. Now I'm mad, you know, like, really, nigga? I popped him in his face and took his hat, like, really, nigga? That's the best you could come up with? And I literally just came up with that. And it sounds every bit as good as what the fuck he said in his verse. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? But the thing that really saves this song for me is not only the beat, once again, beating a dead horse, just like Logic is throughout this album, beating a hell of a dead horse, is the chorus. And the reason why I like the chorus in this song is because it's so over the top. How high-pitched his voice is, what he's saying, it's just so over the top that it makes it good. It almost reminds me of something that Outkast would have. But instead of it being so over the top and fucking terrible and cheesy, it would actually be good. Because it's Outkast. But you get my point. Like, it's just, it's something about that chorus that I really like, even though it fucking sucks. And oh yeah, I was about to forget this too before I move on to the next track. The back, like the vocals in the back of this track in the beat reminds me of the Happy Tree Friends song. What the fuck is up with me today? It reminds me of the Happy Tree song, theme song. So if you don't know what Happy Tree Friends is, I'll leave that down in the description box below. Then we get into Still Ballin', which is another song, once again, where I really do like the instrumental. Wiz Khalifa didn't do anything for me either. I've never been a huge Wiz Khalifa fan, so he didn't do shit for me. And I do agree with Fantano. He shouldn't have had him over this beat, especially because it is a little bit more up-tempo, and he is rapping pretty fast. And then you have Wiz Khalifa, who is infamously known for rapping real slow, so to pretty much have him on a beat like this really didn't make much sense. But hey, it is what it is. This is the song where he's basically, I guess, trying to appeal to the new crowd, and he's talking about taking cocaine and Molly or taking a stab at all of that. But the part that really just ruffles my feathers, that just really grinds my gears, as Peter Griffin would say, is the part where all of a sudden he feels like he has to address how they want to see the black man fall down. They want to see the black man lose. They want to see the black man sing the blues. The bank don't want to give me a loan for my house. Are we really doing this, Logic? Are we really doing this again, where all of a sudden you're trying to prove that you're so black that you want to address black topics and black issues? And look, I get it. He doesn't look black. He is biracial, because he constantly talks about it, which is funny because he tried to, throw little jabs at how people always bring up him talking about being biracial. Then he proceeds to talk about him being biracial. But my thing is that, look, bruh, people wouldn't have a problem with you talking about these issues if you didn't always try to make it a spectacle. That's the problem, because see, here's the thing. Yes, you do look white, but you are half black. And if you want to talk about black issues, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're going to have some people out there who are going to be like, well, he's not all the way black, so why does he get to talk about black issues? I don't know why I gave him like a country accent, but you get my point. I'm trying to make him sound stupid as possible. But my problem with you is that, once again, not only do you make it a spectacle, but it's something that you never really talk about unless you feel like it. Unless it's going to benefit you in some way. You're not like and I hate to do this too. I hate to fucking do it. But you're not like J. Cole. J. Cole has always talked about that shit. And yes, of course, J. Cole is a lot more passable as a black person than you are. But the thing about it is that one of the things that people like, especially me, especially my black ass, is I like consistency. I love consistency. I'm going to keep on saying that because that is what I live by. And you're not consistent. So you only want to talk about these topics and these subjects when it benefits you. You're not consistent with it. So every time you do this, I find it to be complete bullshit and I see right through it. Now, your hardcore stans, like this comment right here where it says, what does it say? This is too dope, man. Logic, fam. You just blow my mind every single time. These type of people are going to fall for that shit. They're going to sit there and see that, they want to see a black man fall down. They want to see a black man lose. They want to see the black man sing the blues or whatever. They're going to see that shit and be like, oh my God, Logic is so real. He's so woke. I'm like, nigga, okay. You're just doing this just because you have nothing else to talk about. So now you want to prove how black you are, which is another thing. And this album, he's trying so hard to prove that he's black, which, once again, nobody fucking asked you to do. For some reason, he felt like he needs to. I'm going to say he needs to have to. But you get my point. Then we get to Limitless. Another one where the beat is fucking phenomenal. I love this one, especially because this one really sounds like it has like a harp in the background, or like a acoustic guitar, and then the hi-hats with the I guess it's 808s or whatever, but whatever type of bass they put in here, it fucking knocks. But I really love this song because I kind of have a thing for like, that's why I kind of like Zaytoven a lot, because he knows how to incorporate like church instruments or like, like orchestral instruments, like, like some type of harp or, violin or something like that. Like he knows how to incorporate those type of things into like, 808 trap style beats. And that's what I like about this song a lot, is that harp in the background. I'm pretty sure that's a fucking harp. If it's not, it's an acoustic guitar or maybe both. But that, and it sounds like maybe there's like a piano in there somewhere with like I said, the very like trappy hi-hats. God damn, this beat is beautiful. I love this beat. Like, this is right up my alley when it comes to like that mix of, like I said, like orchestral instruments and fucking trap type shit with 808s and stuff. Perfect. But once again, lyrics wise, he ain't talking about shit. Then we get into Keanu Reeves. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and just say beats pretty good. Not gonna go in depth with it. He brings up some Fortnite shit. Oh wow, you just dated this song like a motherfucker. But hey, it is what it is. I guess you're trying to appeal to what's popular, so you're gonna bring up the Fortnite. I don't play games lest we talking Fortnite. Wow. Wow. Okay, I hope they paid you enough for that. And then of course, you know, this is one of the things I was talking about. Just because you try to throw jabs at people who fucking sit there and constantly talk about you talking about being biracial, and then you proceed to do it, that doesn't really make your point, or really doesn't dismiss their point. Because that's what he says in here. He's like, did you know I'm mixed like Obama? It ain't a project if Logic ain't talking about being biracial. So you're addressing them and saying, oh, you know, they always talking about it ain't a Logic project if I ain't talking about biracial. And then you address you being biracial like Obama. And it's just one of those things of like, bro, you're not really helping your cause, nor really dismissing it, even though you're trying to get ahead of it and be cool and be like, yeah, but I'm gonna say it before you say it. It's almost like the end of 8 Mile, where like Eminem was like using all the shit that they were gonna use against him, or better yet, Papa Doc was, so he'd have nothing to say. And it's like, yeah, you can do that, but my nigga, still really doesn't dismiss the points that people are making. Anyway, then we get into Don't Be Afraid to Be Different, which, when I tell you that in my entire life, I've never in my entire life felt so uncomfortable listening to a song that I physically felt uncomfortable. I'm telling you right now, this song made me feel uncomfortable. And that's never happened before. I've never listened to a song and just felt physically uncomfortable to where I'm like, this shit makes me feel weird. Like, I need to cut this song off. I've never felt that way before, but this song makes me feel that way. You know how they say it's the first time for everything? Well, goddamn, this is the first time I ever had to deal with that shit. First of all, we start off with Will Smith, which I've never been a big Will Smith fan of him rapping. And then, of course, he comes in with the fucking Fresh Prince shit. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, are you really doing this? Even though he tries to cut it off and be cool. And he's like, fuck all that. Even though he doesn't say fuck. Because, you know, he can't cuss. It's Will Smith. I'm like, I'm good, bro. I'm good. And then he's talking about how he won the first rap Grammy. He sold 60 million. Like, nigga, who fucking cares? Nobody cares about your IG. Like, nobody fucking cares about any of that. Why are you even on this song? Then the way that he ends it, where he shouts out Rat Pack and Misfits. Of course, that's Jaden's label or group, whatever. I don't fucking know. Even though Sarah was the shit. But that Cool Tape, oh my God, you talking about a fucking disappointment. Anyway, that's for another fucking day. But then he hits us with the Fortnite doing Carlton dance. Yeah. Now I'm just gonna leave that there. And yeah. I'm not even gonna say how I feel about Logic's verse, because you should already know by now how I feel about his verse at this point. Then we get to the song that absolutely is just like, why? This song is, oh my God, I'm reading the comment now where somebody is essentially saying what I'm about to say. And they said, fucking ridiculous. Since everything is either garbage or average. Thank you. So I'm not the only one who's seeing this shit. So this song is Bobby. I don't know if I already said that, but this is the song Bobby, where he literally is talking about his biracial penis. I'm going to say that again, and then I'm going to go silent again so you can really let that sink in. He's talking about his fucking biracial dick. Now, once again, whatever the fuck they sample for that beat, the little voice in the back, the blah, 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 that bullshit, I really like. Whoever that is speaking or whatever they speaking about, I really, really like. But this song, what he's saying, where he's talking about his fucking dick, isn't this the same song where he's talking about fucking, which is funny because like just early in the song he was talking about how he don't like that bullshit, how he was shitting on it, but now all of a sudden he feels like he needs to make a whole song about it. It once again fucking hypocritical. He's being like a fucking hypocrite. I could have swore there's a part in here where he was talking about that, like, what did he say? He said something about, oh my God, where is it at? Because he said something about a girl's ID, and then he was like, I'm just playing. He was like, I gotta be out here fucking these bitches. Let me see your ID. And then he was like, I'm just playing. Then I could have swore he said something about, I know I can't be crazy. Maybe that was another song, but I know there was a part in here where he said something like that. I don't know. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't. But this song, man, I was done when he first brung up his fucking dick. I was done then. And this goes back to just the last song. Wasn't that the last song? No. Or was it Keanu Reeves? That's what it was. Where he was talking about it ain't an album, a Logic album, till he talks about his dick. And like I said, then he proceeds to talk about his fucking dick, which is exactly what he just did 2 songs later, where he's still talking about his dick. So you sit there and you made that a point. You tried to be ahead of it. You tried to be one of those guys that be like, yeah, I'm going to use it against you. You know, I'm going to get to it before you can. And then proceed 2 songs later, just sit there and talk about your fucking dick and how you're biracial. You really got him, champ. You really fucking got him. Then we get Lost in Translation, the final track, which should have been the title of this album, because that's exactly what happened. Logic, like whoever he's trying to become now, whatever he's trying to do for the next phase of his career, or, you know, just him as a person, whatever, he's lost himself. The guy that he originally was when he was dropping, you know, the Young Sinatra tapes back in the day, 1 through 3, Under Pressure, Tits, Bobby Tarantino, all of that stuff. He's lost that person, trying to be whoever he is now. And with the culmination of him trying to go at his haters and all of that, he's completely lost it. And it's funny because he even says it, I don't know if it's in this song, but in one of his songs, he talks about how, like, you know, you were supposed to be the man, you had the plan or some shit like that. And it's true. It's true. Once again, just because you acknowledge it doesn't change whether or not the shit's true. And that's exactly what it is here. Just because you said it in another song talking about how you were the man and whatever, and you had the plan and you dropped the ball and all that bullshit, doesn't change the fact that you did. You've lost yourself. And it's sad because you didn't have to. You could have easily just made another solid project, which your past couple ones have been pretty shaky anyway. Ever since Everybody, your shit's been pretty shaky. But you could have took the time and crafted a solid album to show people that you haven't lost it, that you're still there. But no. What did you do? You saw your idol do something, and you thought you could do it. And you didn't. And I'm going to say it once again before this video ends. He saw Eminem dissing, so he figured he could do it. He painted himself as the victim, but only became a target. Nigga.